Hi there, this is Amanda. I've got two separate windows open. On the left, I've got my digital slide set Google document template ready to go with an example already filled in for case 1. And on the right, I've opened the RCPA ecases logged in as myself. I've searched the ecases and I found a case that I would like to add to my workshop. The simplest way to demonstrate filling in our digital slide set is to work in reverse and fill in each of these cells, starting with the URL link to the discussion and the resources. Okay, so this here is a case of a phyllodes tumour, and I want to link to the discussion and the resources, so basically the answer. I go up here to the URL. Notice it starts with RCPA, library, ecases. So I'm going to copy that. So Control C for copy. And then over in the cell, I want to do just keyboard command, Control V for paste. Next thing, I want to put the diagnosis. So I can just scroll down here. And it's just quicker to copy and paste. So copy, and I've just pasted that into here. Yep, you guessed it, copy paste. I've shortened it down a little bit, just 21F. Now this is the tricky bit that is unique to ecases because we use the Sectra platform. So let's open the slide. So left mouse click in the usual way. And you can see it opens in a new tab, and look at the URL. It starts with UniView. Now, normally you'd think you'd just copy this URL and that would link to the slide. However, because of the way Sectra is organized, every time you open a slide, you get a different anonymous number. So this will not work the next time you open the slide. Let's go back here to the ecases platform. Here is the slide itself. Underneath this thumbnail is linked the URL, the permanent link to the slide, not the anonymous link. So I've just done right mouse click. I'm using Chrome as my browser, and I'm going to copy link address. So that's a left mouse click and it's in my clipboard. Go over here and I'm going to link to the URL slide. It's a big, long, gobbledygook one, but I just want to put it there so you can see it. Now then, I like to put a thumbnail because that just, makes it much more attractive. So here I am, I've clicked on the digital slide, so it's the usual digital slide situation, and I want to make a thumbnail of this. So I take a screen snip. I like keyboard commands. I'm on a Windows PC, so this is not a whole page print screen, but just a snip of this area here. So the keyboard command is the Windows icon, Shift and S. It brings up the marquee tool, and then I'm just going to draw a rough rectangle over the area of interest, put it over here in my digital slide set where I want the thumbnail, and then just go Control V, which is paste, and there we go. Now, a more elegant way than having this big long impossible URL is I can copy that URL, so Control C for copy, and I can link it to the thumbnail itself. So I've activated the thumbnail, I right mouse click, and I'm going to insert link, and then I'm just going to paste that big long URL and apply. So now when I hover and click on the thumbnail, it comes up with the virtual slide. And notice the URL, it starts with virtual RCPA QAP. And notice how that's different to the URL link in the instance UniView when you're Anonymous 35. It's different. This is the permanent link to the slide, and this one up here is the temporary link when you're logged in as Anonymous 35. Now I'm going to select the next case. It's to avoid confusion, I recommend closing the Sectra window, because remember that's got the Phyllodes tumour on it. And then now we're back on the RCPA ecases, and just click the back button to get to our index page where I have put in the keyword, and I've selected by breast. So although the thumbnail has a live link to the digital slide, these URLs here are not live. How do we make them live quickly? We use keyboard command. We want to insert a link. So I'm just going to go copy, Control C, and then I'm going to insert link. So I'm going to do Control K, and there we go. It's turned into a live link. So if I click that, I go to the RCPA ecases. Same with this one here. Control C, Control V, K, and now it's a live link. And this one's already a live link. Now, as with all digital assets, you need to test them before you send them out. So how do I know that this is linking to the correct slide? I click on the thumbnail, and I click on the URL that pops up, and it opens in a different tab. I'll just bring it over here so you can see. And that's opened up the correct case in Sectra platform. And I should also test the answer. Opens up in a new tab. I'll just drag that over there. And yes, this is all the patient information. And if I show all, then it gives me all the commentary, notes, etc. So the links have worked. Now this is my master copy of the slide set with the answers and the discussion. So I want to remove these two information columns when I send it out to the registrars. So what do? I just make a copy, and I've just changed the name digital slide set without answers. I'll put that over there so you can see. And then to remove the answers, I just select this and press delete. Okay, so this is the one without the answers. It's ready to send out to the registrars. How do I send it out? Up here is the sharing settings, so let's just open that up. And I'm going to change that from restricted to anyone with the link can view. And see how that's changed to viewer. And then I can copy this link and send that out as pre-work to my registrars. Here are some bonus ideas once you get the hang of making these. Number one, I usually remove these URL links to slides because I know the URL is tidily hidden underneath the thumbnail, and all my registrars know that too. So here we go, just the essential information without that URL, but I know the URL is still there. And the other thing is adding discussion documents, articles, guidelines in this section here. So using case 2 as an example, which is a Phyllodes tumour, I remembered several years ago I made a visual abstract for a paper on Phyllodes tumours, and the point was that there was a lack of detail in the reports, and these were the things that were missing. And I would like to link to both the visual abstract and the actual article. This visual abstract was in the RCPA Structured Reporting newsletter, which is on the RCPA website, and there is an open access link to the original article, which describes the missing details. And I think this would be a good discussion document, which I can send out with the answer slides, so that the registrars can have reference back to it. So here's another tip. How do I find an open access URL? So I just click the link there. It gives me the PubMed, and so I'm going to copy that PubMed link because I know it's got open access to the free full text. And so I've added that here to my discussion and resources because I want to discuss this article on missing elements when reporting phyllodes tumours. And the other thing I want to discuss is the RCPA guidelines on phyllodes tumour. So here I am on the structured pathology reporting page. I've clicked breast, there's phyllodes tumour, there's an interim checklist. Okay, so this is also relevant to discuss this microscopic dataset. And in order to direct straight to this document here, rather than the whole structured reporting and then making my learners navigate through breast phyllodes tumour, remember how we found the URL to the hidden slide? We right mouse click and then we copy link address. And I've pasted it over here. Now I'm doing Control K to make it live. And we can check. If we hover over here, it brings up the URL and you can see it goes straight only to the checklist rather than the overall website.